There is only one indigenous broadcaster championing the cause for the restoration of Biafra. Biafra Human Rights Radio. Of course, unstoppable and remains the beacon of truth. It has been so since yesterday, and it is today and forever.
Land of the rising sun we love and cherish, beloved homeland of our brave heroes. We must defend our lives, or we shall perish. We shall protect our hearts from all our foes. But in our prize is death for all we hold dear. But let us die without a shred of fear. Hell to Biafra, consecrated nation of fatherland, this be our solemn pledge. Defending this shall be our dedication. Spilling our blood will
Biafra, hello Biafra. Oh, now we be the Biafra, hello Biafra, hello Biafra. Agumoye Biafra, hello Biafra, hello Biafra. Freedom is here, hello Biafra, hello Biafra. Agumoye Biafra, yeah. Freedom, freedom is here, is here. Yeah, 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 yeah. God, I want to thank you for this beautiful thing what you did do for us. Finally Biafra is here, so make you never give up. I know yes, they killed us many years back. I know yes, they try to pull us down, but this kind of work this way. Thank you for all the good things. Now you don't make us better. Now everything done better. Now thank you for the good things. See everything done better. We'll live in it makes me cry when I see my brothers being killed. Nigerian soldiers keep on killing us because we said for freedom. Yeah, take my life, but you can never take away that joy. Freedom is ours. We got what it takes to live. Hello Biafra, hello Biafra. Oh, now we be the Biafra. Hello Biafra, hello Biafra. Agumoye Biafra, hello Biafra, hello Biafra. Freedom is here. Hello Biafra, hello Biafra. Agumoye Biafra, yeah. Biafra, my country. My country, Biafra. Yes, we never give up. Yes, we never give up. Never give up. No, no, they give up. My country, Biafra. We never give up. Biafra, Biafra, Biafra. Everywhere you go. We have what it takes, we have what it takes. Biafra, yeah, yeah, yo.
Yes, sir, once again, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom, men and women of goodwill, conscientious people wherever you are all over the world. As customary demand on this platform, I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you good night depending on your time zone. This is Radio Biafra Extra, and we are streaming live through Biafra Human Right and Freedom Radio Station. Biafra Human Right and Freedom Radio Station is anchored by Diokwa Uchiuka from F4. Of course, it is the embodiment of pro-Biafran group who understand the precarious situation we have found ourselves and the need for everybody to come on board and have their say as stakeholders in this quest to restore Biafra. Diokwa Uchiuka from F4 is from Abatete. Abatete is in Anambra State, and Anambra State is Biafra land. He is the man who assured us that he will not allow the heart of this project to see corruption. We keep reminding you, we keep repeating this phrase because one day you will understand. I am George ONYIBE and I come from Abo in Delta State, of course, Anyoma Province, Biafra land. I want to use this privilege to acknowledge every pro-Biafran group, members of the de facto customary government, who has stood up against this challenge to ensure that this all restoration project is brought to a conclusive end. From the executive to the parliamentary, whether in form of implementation or the advisory body, Every one of you, I acknowledge you, and you are highly appreciated this evening. Members of the Biafra Nation Alliance, I keep telling you, you would have run away like many did. But you choose to stand by the truth. And so you faced evil and bloodied men, all for the truth. Acknowledge all of you, from the administrators to the media, to the board of trustees, and of course to all its members. Acknowledge all of you, the watchmen, those of you saddled with the spiritual responsibility. Understand your job is just starting. Acknowledge our brothers, and we honestly pray that all of them will wake up. All of them will wake up to reality. That they may understand that there is time for impression and there is time for reality. I'm talking to indigenous people of Nnamdi Kanu. On daily basis you dig a pit. On daily basis you disgrace yourself. Before the global community, your intention is to soil the name of Biafra, but it's too late, because you will not be able. And so those of you who are assigned, your job is go to any platform. If they are not calling in Nnamdi Kanu Supreme Mercy, Supreme Creator, Supreme God, attack them, antagonize them, insult them, and you are doing well, I must tell you. You are doing well, you are highly appreciated. But just know tonight that your presence is an inspiration to what I do. So come, yap, that is your cause. But you see, I am your destiny, and I am your doom. It is time. The night is fast spent. Wake up and face the reality. There is no amount of shenanigans. There is no amount of talent display. There is no amount of autopilot. There is no amount of fasting and praying. There is no amount of deception. There is no amount of yahoo. Whatever you are going to do, there is only one way that will lead us home. And the earlier we embrace this truth and humble ourselves, as Maju Bidi will always say, the better for all of us. There were times you glory in calling people saboteur. Now everybody is a saboteur. And I know you are fully aware that Nnamdi Kanu is a saboteur. Everybody now is a saboteur. Let us stop deceiving ourselves. Acknowledge men and women out there. Most of you are not Biafran, but you genuinely, you sincerely identify with us on this quest. You are highly appreciated. We felt the impact of your prayer with us. The rest assures our prayers are with you also. And then I must call on the next generation of Biafra. You must rise up and protect all that we have left. And our duty at this moment is to make sure that even if we fail to deliver Biafra in our lifetime, we will make sure we leave it better than we met it. And so you have a role to play. Our time is winding up. Of course, we are still on the stage. We will continue pushing to the end. Because on the last day, only true Biafrans will be raptured. And so I say to the Almighty Creator, the one who is our wisdom, knowledge and understanding, the one who is our God, in matter both great and small. For in the end, we do not have the power of our own. We depend on Him to be the primordial influence in everything we do. And so I acknowledge Him. Chineke anyị dị mma woo. Chineke anyị dị mma. Itu ọ bụ na idowe ihe ule ya. Chineke anyị mara mma woo. Odogwu na ya, dike na ya. Onye nwe anyị Igbodogu na ya, dike na ya, akpata na-ekwu nwa o. Odogwu na ya, dike na ya, onye na-eme mma. Odogwu na ya, dike na ya, dike na ya o. udike na ya, dike na ya, oh dike na ya, oh dike na ya, oh dike na ya, dike na ya, oh onyanyi nefe bu dike na ya. You see. And of course, without wasting much of our time, we'll go to our topic this evening, which is still titled Implicit in the Creation of a Nation and the Need for Our People to Review their Position in the recent Biafra agitation. Implicit in the creation of a nation. Of course, when I use that word implicit, I'm trying to point out, or rather trying to give its definition, that says, it suggests that though a matter is not directly exposed, a matter that is not directly exposed, it is there but not reviewed. Something happened, for instance, and everybody knew, yes, this thing happened, and they choose not to directly express either displeasure or pleasure over that matter. They just have to move ahead. In the creation of a nation, such attitude abound, and the people pay dearly for it. And so when it comes to the need to restore Biafra, our people must understand that this implicit must be reviewed. On this recent Biafra agitation, every matter must be reviewed. This study actually is meant to remind us how communities are formed and how untreated issues which are not resolved continue to create platform for backwardness for such a people. One of the greatest problems of Nigeria is not just corruption, it's not just about the nepotism, it's not just about the deliberate subjugation, marginalization, disenfranchisement, and every other associated evil that comes with the mindset to conquer a people. One of the greatest problems of Nigeria is that notion. You don't discuss about Biafra, the unity of Nigeria is not negotiable, and you don't talk about what happened in the Biafra war. We got to move on. You cannot got to move on. You cannot got to move on. This issue must be treated black and white. These issues must come up. Everybody need to know the truth. In those days when history were taught in school, history being one of my subjects, I remember practically a topic we treated in history. It is titled The Cause of Nigerian Biafran War. And we were taught that it's a personality clash between Ojukwu and Gowon. And I keep asking, could the personality clash, Nganga, of Ojukwu and Gowon claim the life of over 10 million people, and then we drink a cup of tea and go back to bed and say nothing happened? Will the personality clash between Ojukwu and Gowon make the Nigerian state to take our parents' money, giving them 20 pounds, and then everybody go to bed and then think somewhere along the line Angela Merkel is going to deliver Nigeria? So if I were to go by what I was taught in school as a Nigerian history, and then I want to believe that personality clash between Ojukwu and Gowon, they want to know who is the supremacy, and then they wasted almost a whole generation. Is that what you want to tell me? Something is wrong somewhere, and they don't want to talk about it. continue to hurt the people of Nigeria till today, because the blood of the innocent wails day and night, crying for vengeance, and they continue to do that. There are people whose deliberate plan is to rubbish Nigeria to the mud, destroy Nigeria. But then you don't need to do the job that is done already. Implicit on this motion indicate that if these issues are not properly reviewed, Nigeria is not going anywhere. No man of God, no prayer, no night vigil, no afa, no imam, nobody can do anything. The more we struggle to live in one Nigeria, the more we suffer, struggle, and continue. But may God lighten our burden and show us mercy. And also, this study is meant to help us reevaluate our position in recent Biafra agitation platform, as many issues need to be addressed which are being overlooked. A lot of things are happening, and in most cases we want to overlook them. We just think, let's move on. I just want to help you understand how these things function. Number one, let us review a sample. The implication of implicit regarding issues that are not properly addressed in the creation of a community. And now let me analyze so you understand better. Every community you see today have a history, and some of the histories are very horrible. We just don't want to discuss it. The West, the Yorubas, did not leave any stone unturned. They addressed every issue. We understand what happened in Kwara. We understand all the issues about the Yorubas, but they discuss every matter thoroughly, because they understand that anyone you sweep under the carpet, one day somebody will raise that carpet. Instead they're going to raise a dust that will discomfort everybody, or is going to bring about order that will make everybody uncomfortable. I love them for that anyway, and I give it to them. The North has a lot of issues they don't want to discuss. If you further press for those issues to be discussed, they will wipe you out. After all, they are the British owners of the Nigerian company best friend, and so they get every international support they have, and that is why the North is bleeding. Other minority in the North will be exterminated one after the other, and nobody will see anything. What is happening to Southern Kaduna? What is happening to Nupe people? Where exactly did they send Gwari people to? We understand all these things. And so these people has given up the faith, or rather should I say they rely on the arm of faith. But somewhere along the line, this issue will be discussed. Anything that goes up will come down. Kingdom rise and kingdom fall. There were times Soviet Union were gallivanting everywhere all over the world. America can only try and manage to sneeze, but somebody from America took the challenge, and somebody from China as well as Japan took the challenge, and then Europeans stood their ground. And today no nation can come out and beat his hand in the chest and say she is going to oppress the world. That nation is not ready for what is coming. I can assure you that. And so the arrogancy of Soviet Union gave birth to the American you know today, because they were need to confront evil. What am I trying to say in effect? When it comes to the issue of Biafrans, we have issues which has brought about disunity among us. But this time you want to review this matter. Let it be addressed holistically. You will be easily misunderstood. And some people will rather say don't say it. Whether you address it, whether you say it, or you refuse to say it, the truth remains the truth. The truth may not be very fast, but no matter how fast the lie goes, the truth will always catch up with the lies. In the process of trying to create a community, there are procedures. For instance, a man will leave a very long distance land, from far away land, maybe with his family and his belonging, and then having traveled many years, having traveled many months, arrive at a particular plain, piece of land. They love it, and they decide to settle down. Now understand the process. In most cases, they are the only one there, and so they pitch their tent and start life all over again. You can see some of this knowledge, this revelation from the Bible time. The Bible says Abraham left oil, and then looking for a city God will give to him. And when he got to Canaan, he pitched his tent. There were people of Canaan there. And when Abraham dwelt among them, he refused to intermarry with the Canaanites. In fact, Abigail, Abraham's daughter, was raped by the prince of the Canaanites. This made the children of Jacob to descend on that prince and slew them among many others. They lived with the Canaanites. They don't want to intermarry with the Canaanites. They made it clear, because there are issues that they may try to ignore. It will haunt them in the future. Abraham has a mandate. He had to want to do something. But let's go back to our culture. Let's go back to our personal story that will help you understand what you are saying. And so when you settled on this piece of land, in most cases you find yourself alone. Other time you meet people who are living there. There are traditional record that when Biafrans arrived on this land, there were people living here. They called them the mangrove. The whole of Biafra land, there is an island more than 30 kilometers away from Bonny Island. It is called the mangrove. That is the only island, that is the only piece of land in Biafra land that corresponds with the name of supposedly original occupant of Biafra land. They call them the mangrove. Those of you from Okereka, Kalabare, you should know about this island. It's amazing. It is run by Awusa Fulani as we speak. And then few Data and a few Ijo, Okereka, and then of course our women, they turn into prostitutes. But that is not where we are going to. And so when we settled here, or rather when the people settle in that plane of land, maybe they meet somebody and then they have agreement. In most cases they make covenant. We will allow you to live here with us. Go to the left, go to the north. They have memorandum of understanding, because two cannot work together except they agree. When Abraham and Lot departed, they got to a stage, they had agreement. Abraham said to Lot, choose one side, you and your family go there, and then let me and my family go to the other hand. They have an agreement. It was settled. That is why if you look at the history of Abraham and Lot, they didn't have personal issue. Their houseboy and housegirl quarreled, but it has nothing to do with the relationship between Abraham and his nephew Lot. Lot later had two children, the Amorite and the Moabite. They respected the position of the children of Abraham, as well as the children of Abraham respected their position. They have grievances which was not expressed, and so they were the first to fight the children of Israel when they left Egypt. And now when a community is about to form, these people continue to live in peace and harmony. And along the line, they will discover they have need to get a fisherman, because maybe they can't fish. Most of their wise men, most of their leaders, based on information, will travel to another location in search of a fisherman. And when they see any fisherman living anywhere, isolated, just like every other human being before the civilization era, they have covenant, they have agreement. Brother, you are a fisherman, come and join us in this camp. We are forming a village. And then they bring a complete stranger and they get incorporated. Their blood mixes in the end. These are complete strangers with different DNA. And then in the process of time, they become one family. You won't even know. But remember, there is a covenant that bound them together. And then they get to a stage. They need a hunter. And maybe they are not good hunter among them. They search, they travel to longer distance, get warriors, hunters, who will be doing that job for them. These same people are incorporated into the village. Complete stranger. In the process of time, they become one. And then they have need for blacksmith. They travel to distances, area where they can see blacksmith. Have you ever wondered that most of the ancient iron work, casting of metal, from copper to gold to rod, everything, zinc, you have those descendants in Enugu. You have some of those descendants in Anambra. They travel from God nowhere. They bring in people and say, oh, you are families of those who can mold, sculpturers. You begin to mold pots. You begin to cast iron. These are complete strangers with unknown history, but they have a covenant to become one, and so they coexist. They have their differences. In most cases, those who came in as poor people become very wealthy in the process of time, wealthier than those who were wealthy and running the affairs of the community. Envy and jealousy will come up. For instance, the issue of Osu. When you want to make such discussion, that means nobody is Osu, this one is Osu, this one is Osu. Osu in itself is not an evil, but it is trying to point out to a direction where we are coming from, and the need to review some of these covenants. And the more you try to suppress that truth from surfacing, the more you have evil coming up from every corner. A lot of issues need to be discussed. A lot of lies are hidden. But there are people who saw the truth, and they have passed the truth, the information behind the truth, to another people. And so there are custodians of our people. And as far as there is this implicit, let's leave it and move on. My brother, you go nowhere. You're not moving on anywhere. But until we grow in maturity, until we grow in the perfection of love, until we are bold enough, courageous enough to come out and tell ourselves the truth, analyze what has happened, remedy the situation, only then are we ready to move ahead. Most of the advanced countries you see today, they brought this issue down, they reviewed it, they analyzed it, apology were made where necessary, and the need for them to continue is there. And so once in a while they say the injury may heal, but the mark remain. And so most of the problem we are facing today is because there are people hiding issues. They don't want to discuss it because their hypocrisy will be exposed. And so the people of Biafra must understand that we are in a process of creating a nation. We are in the process of creating a nation. And now you have the Duma, and now you have the Gala, and now you have the Yala, and now you have the Robu, and now you have the Ogoni, and now you have the Shekiri, and now you have the Robu, and now you have the Igbo, and now you have the Ijo, and now you have the Bibu, and now you have the Efik, and now you have the Enang. You have the Ogoja. Should I begin to mention? And then there are seeds of discord that have been sowed among us for a very long time. And some people say, well, we've grown past that stage, let's move on. My brother, you're not going to move on anything. The implication of the implicit regarding the activities of some criminal element in the name of Biafra agitation is something that is also needs to be reviewed. We are going through the same process, because it is boiling down to what is happening on this same platform. We came out together and said, let us fight for Biafra agitation. Let us restore Biafra. Dim Chukwemeko Dimegwojuku did his own. There were a lot of complications, and I'm sure Ojukwu did not openly tell everybody the truth, but he remains our hero. Forever we will respect him and we will love him. It's not easy for one man to use his father's word to defend even most people who will fight against him. He's a mortal, for God's sake. He makes mistakes like every other one. But from what I see at the end of his life, he lived very humbly. If he had more opportunity, if he had more time, he will rewrite the history. And no wonder he's called the people's general. But the implicit remain that there are a lot of things he should have told the people of Biafra, but he did not tell them. Because somewhere along the line he feels he was handing the baton to those who know better. He must have discussed it with most of them, maybe when they are taking wine and relaxing, and then they analyze what has happened and how they got here. And of course, Chief Raphael Wazirike took over the baton, the same agitation. And then what happened. But we really don't know the accurate truth, how it all began, how they had a fallout within Nnamdi Kanu, being Chief Raphael Wazirike boy, how everything went wrong. Chief Raphael Wazirike have not told us. But then Nnamdi Kanu took to the hill. He spent almost a decade. Wazirike is a hotelier, is a criminal, but there was something very wrong. They've not told us. We got to keep quiet because we don't want to offend anybody. That thing you are hiding will continue to plague all of us. That is why everything happening is happening. And now on this platform, everybody threw their weight on Nnamdi Kanu. It started sincerely. I won't tell you lie. We saw it. But along the line, like most men, his wisdom was corrupted. After all, the Bible said the wisdom of Lucifer was corrupted. He has said to himself, I will ascend unto the hills of the Lord. And then, like the Most High God, he will sit upon the mountains of God and proclaim his supremacy before the universe. The Bible says he was the perfection of beauty until iniquity was found in him. And you see, he that is often reproved without correction, his calamity will come without remedy. He was sincere. I won't tell you lie. We saw the passion. But we were not careful to review some of the criminal tendency in Nnamdi Kanu. But maybe we felt we can manage it. You know, these are some parts most of you zombie don't want to hear. Leave Nnamdi Kanu. What is the solution? There is no solution until this mess is cleared. It is going to be worse and worse on daily basis. This is not a cause, but we will get home. If we want to go home, let us do the right thing and get home. A journey meant for 40 days, they went 40 years. Can't you understand? We rigmarolled so much on this wilderness, and on this same platform, evil started coming up. The first line of saboteur were created, and I do not stand to condemn or support anybody. Saboteur expelled. Were they expelled or they were sacked? Sack. Gochukwu nke marama. Sack saboteur. This first line of saboteur. But somewhere along the line, something was not right. Well, we choose to, you know, we got to move on. We got to move on. Soldier go, soldier come. Inside a nation, soldier go, soldier come. Is that how they run America? My brother, soldier go, they go, soldier no go, they come. You go, they hire soldier. We cannot look at matter and say that, well, this one does not matter. As far as we are heading towards creation or formulation of a nationhood, every matter must be reviewed. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Don't let anybody deceive you. On this same platform, in a time like this, it looks like we've gone past the stage. Another line of saboteur started coming up. People out of zeal, passion, came up, introduced something they feel will help this agitation. Talking about people like Dr. Ukwi, USA, among others, when they were talking about, passionately talking about Biafran Bank. Very fascinating idea. And all of a sudden, all the people behind that banking idea, all of them are saboteur. All of them. And we feel we got to move on. They can't discuss it. They are saboteur. You push it further, they say, well, Biafra come, we will kill all of them. We will do this one. My brother, you don't form a nation like that. These things we are looking at and think it doesn't matter. It will hurt all of us. Some of you think you are in your safe heaven. It doesn't concern you. Anywhere crocro like make it enter, finger must meet them. Except you are not a Biafran, except you've not been part of this Hulu Balu, it is going to boomerang. This is the gospel truth. And then we continue. We understand the need why these issues must be discussed. People like Dr. Kado, people like Mazu Bide, people like Mazuchi Ukafomefo, and there are still genuine people in the DOSO, but you know they belong to that class. If you can't beat them, you join them. They don't want trouble, but that trouble will catch up with all of them at the right time. And now let's rephrase it. Mazi Mefo has always been telling the gangster called DOS, led by Chiki Duzi and Tunis Rumike, China Samuru, and other Yahoo career freedom fighters. He said, you people are not fit for purpose. But Mazi Mefo does not know they have a different agenda. And each time we gather in the DOS meeting, he say yes, and when they come, they say we are not fit for purpose, and that make them hate him the more. But in fact, one of those days, they summoned a meeting, the DOS, Chike Doziem, and said they want to discuss Uche Mefo. Mazi Uche Okafor Mefo was in that meeting. I listened patiently to accusation. I listened to flimsy excuses. I listened to label and blackmail. What a patient man. And when they finished blackmailing, they told Mazi Mefo, what do you have to say? Mazi Mefo painfully explained 2 or 3 things. He kept quiet. And I was shocked. And so even when he didn't know, they were arranging to mess him up. The matter didn't end that day. It was adjourned. And then they wrote another letter. Yes, our meeting continued. All of them were insulting Mazi Mefo. All those screaming, I idiot them. And then for some reason, Chike Doziem called me. And I told him, it's not proper what you are doing. After Nnamdi Kanu, the next person that gives us command is Mazi Mefo. And you are his subordinate. You are supposed to be his best ally. And then if anything is wrong, if you feel Mazi Mefo is doing something wrong, why don't you call him? And first of all, talk to him as a brother. And now, if you continue to call Mazi Mefo and allow other members of the DOS to be insulting him, I will insult all of you. I will rubbish all of you. You know. You know. I said to him politely, but I made him understand that meeting will not hold. I will rubbish all of you. Because I have seen their hands are not clear. They are trying to hide issue. You cannot hide it. One way or the other, the truth must come out. And the earlier we tell ourselves the truth, the better for all of us. And then this nemesis, this evil can then pass over. Till today, Mazi Mefo did not resign from IPOB. He did not. It is IPOB. Oh, he has resigned. He has resigned. Men are bring deputy now. Men are bring deputy. Ono amoy to ekesi anyangu. Bring deputy now. So you will see the truth you don't know before. Because somebody did not respond to you, does it mean that you have become supremacy? Let's leave it at that. Dr. Okado understand the need why there must be instrument of governance. The amazing thing is that they will keep you quiet. You begin to hustle, you begin to labor, you begin to burn your energy and put up wonderful idea. The moment you are done, they rubbish you and push you to the corner. And then I remember Mazi Ubide. In one of our last discussion, when Nnamdi Kanu want to float his personal killer squad, they call ESM, in collaboration of other supposedly political leader, elders, supposedly reputable organization. He has gathered the support of these people. He was doing exactly what Chinasa did yesterday, condemning everybody, destroying everybody, coming on radio and insulting everybody. It to you is normal. Country in the era. Is it not it? It was getting out of hand. Mazi Ubide called Nnamdi Kanu in the DOS meeting and say, brother, this thing you are doing will put mud on you. And if this mud touch you, it will stain all of us. Removal of members should not be what you go on air and announce. These people can be removed without you doing it yourself. This is the reason you have continental reps. This is the reason you have a DOS. This is the reason you have other administrators. In fact, it was less than a week after this advice that Nnamdi Kanu sold out Akwara. And some of you are going to say, oh, you got to leave it, you got to leave it. We are past that stage, you got to move on. You got to move on, go where? You got to move on, go where? And now let us see what it has brought to us. I have to play 2 audio, and then hopefully you will understand why those issues must be addressed. I say, oh, don't talk about it, don't talk about it, and let's go to move on. It's going to make things go very worst. Let us look at, first of all, one of the audios, and then we analyze them and we move on. In most cases, just taking time to load. Let's see. Okay, the first audio did not play, but let's go to the second one, and I will still get the first one back. And then let us hear what happened. Let's analyze the first audio, which I cannot play at this moment, and then we listen to the second one. The Nigerian police gave a report. They said they arrested 30 men in Osun local government of Imo State, and some of them from what is Benjamin Madubugu village. When I remember it, I tell you. Around Mbose. They arrested them, about 30 of them. When their camp was invaded, you saw the video trending everywhere on social media. They saw these people. They have 3 grave or burial pit sites where they keep people they have kidnapped. And of course, they recently kidnapped monarch. One of the monarch in Imo State was rescued. And you know the amazing thing there is that they are eating human flesh. They are eating human flesh. Now, we don't know the name of these people. We don't know the exact number of these people. We don't know what they are going to do to these people. We don't even know if this very matter is state managed. But you see, there are issues that have not been reviewed. All of you are busy. Hey, unknown government, they come to protect us. Hey, they are protecting us. Let's give them money. Let's give them money. Oh, unknown government. We fail to review this process. And yet we claim we are forming a nation. Just day before yesterday, this publication was made. We tried to analyze it briefly yesterday. But then that same yesterday, Tina Sanworu came online. Tina Sanworu came online. And I think we should hear some of the things he said. And then we analyze it. Because all these things, if it is not review, it will only create a platform that will lead to our backwardness, like I have said. Let's hear some part of Tina Sanworu ranting.
Tell him he opened an office in that place.
Let's go back.
We are going to this evening weed out people who say they are ESN, who are committing crimes. We are going to mention their names on air now this evening. And when we do that, because most of them also are being
they are going to mention those who are committing criminal in IPOB. They say they are ESM. They are going to mention their name, just like Nnamdi Kanu mention Akowara name. I remember I have told you, if you are a media personnel in IPOB, if you are a volunteer in IPOB, whether they call you volunteer, they call you ESM, they call you unknown gunmen, they call you any name, and you have access to vital information, and you have what it takes to resist evil going on under Nnamdi Kanu and the gangster called US, run for your life. They will come for all of you. Like somebody rightly said, once they cannot control you, once they cannot use you, the next thing is they blackmail you. This is Tina Sanworu. The moment Nigerians say, oh, they are now trying to deny most of these people, it will shock you. They want to deny most of these people now. They want to deny them. He's going to call their name. And some of you are saying, hey, leave them alone. And then also all these ones, they are calling their name and betraying them. Are they the evil people? Benjamin Madubugu, he said they have outlived their usefulness. Any track you want to cover, not until these matters are reviewed, it will continue to happen. All of you shouting, hey, our supreme leader, our leader Nnamdi Kanu, we will not do Christmas, we will not do Christmas. Unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu to get to all of you. Except we are not here to form a nation. It's just a political party. And then let's do PDP and APC, then share the party, everybody share the money and go home. But if indeed we want to extricate ourselves from Nigeria, if indeed we want to create an atmosphere that will enable us be the author of our destiny, if indeed we love our people and we want to change their standing, not just within Africa but the global community, my friend, this matter must be reviewed. Listen to Chinasa selling out a cross section of Biafra. No more Fulani. Fulani is killing us. Fulani Janjaweed, they raping us. With the atrocity you see them committing now, don't you know the truth? No, we're not gonna discuss it. Let's keep it quiet. Not discussing it is destroying it or us already. Look at them now. What do they have to say? If this one is not a saboteur, this one has a jack account, this one has stolen money. Now it's not enough. To cover their track, they are now selling out their people. What a shame.
It's not that. People say contribute money. We forget about this. The US is doing this thing. There is even somebody. He said that he raised 25-point-something million naira on his phone. He was still asking people for 100,000 so that he will buy a jet fighter for the ESN. All those lies. You understanding me? You don't know. You raised 25 million. You raised 25 million naira. And I say, IPOB didn't see it. You use it and buy them rocket launcher and buy them. Is it not criminals? Criminals everywhere, they are begging. And for that reason, Mazi, I am going to start. If people from Osmo is in Anambra, I want everybody, if you are living in diaspora, if you are living in Biafra land, and if you are listening, a lot of reports have come from Osmo, even to the hearing of our leader, because some of them think, and since all these things started immediately after our leader was arrested, those things don't happen. That is to show you it was a planned something. There are criminals in these communities. These criminals, they use the name of IPOB because of the respect and the fear people have for IPOB. They go, they bomb people's houses. One of them, we found out that the brother was a criminal. He was killed. And he have a grudges against his community people that they killed his brother, that his brother was a criminal. For that reason, he used the name because ESN and be terrorizing people in Osmo.
Let us look at it. He started by saying they raised 25 million naira in the name of ESN. You didn't say anything. And the same person who got 25 million naira is begging 100,000. How do you fix it? And these people are now criminal. They are criminal because they don't obey you again. They are criminal because they listen to Biafra Human Rights Radio and they know what is coming. They are criminal because they refuse to do your dirty job again. And now you are calling them. We know them. They are evil. They are raking money. They are criminal everywhere. It's a lie. China Samuru, you are the criminal. We know what you people are going to do. All those volunteers, we understand that the next line of agenda is to assassinate all of them. For some reason, I won't mention their name. Where is River State CSO? He's a criminal. Where is Obibo CSO? He's a criminal. Where is the one they call Lionheart? He's a criminal. Where is that Nnamdi Kanu most trusted bodyguard? He's a criminal. Where is Obase? He's a criminal. Where is the first CSO of Imo State or second one after the removal of Amos? He's a criminal. Where are all the CSO? All of them are criminal. Because the grown-up men, when they understand you people are just common theft, career freedom fighter, they move back. For 4 years, this issue has been addressed. We didn't make it public. We didn't jump up and down start castigating anybody because we had faith in you people that you will repent. But every day you get worse. And those zombies who don't know now, they say, oh, these people are evil. They are evil. We will kill them. We will do that one. My guy, you are just heaping the coal of fire that will consume all of you very soon. That is China Sankoweto. Fake name, fake location, fake position, fake news. 99.9% of the problem in IPOB is caused by Chinasa. And then they cannot love him because he can gossip. Onyendu, once they call him Onyendu, Onyendu, we can't keep quiet. This Chinasa is the one telling them to bury coordinators alive. And how the more is dead. What of Undune Soku? What of Chijoke or Taji? This Chinasa sending them to rape our women. This Chinasa is the one not telling you they rate 25 million, they rate it. So those of you in diaspora, you are now such a very big mugu. That was somebody anonymous. You don't even know his name. You gather 25 million. All these are blackmail. We've been there. We've been there. If the witch of Masasuchi, as old as Madame Erewa is, will come out and blankly tell horrible lie against me alongside with other recruits, Moses Okalu gave George ONYIBE 22 million to share with Ikechukwu Gwoha. He ate it alone. George ONYIBE collected money from Wike to kill Igbo people. And most of the zombie in everywhere on Radio Biafra, George ONYIBE, which MFO collected money, this one now rake money from diaspora, anonymous collector, anonymous donor. These are people cooking up evil, and they think under this Biafra agitation platform they can sweep it under the carpet. My brother, all of them must come out. Let's continue to hear this rubbish.
That stealers, they are not where they come and say they are ESN. Lynch them. If you have the ability, lynch them. If you don't have that,
if you see them around, lynch them. And some elders will shamefully go and say it's not them. Father Mbaka, all set here now. Now the Kanu is your son. That is now the Kanu dear. He then lynch them. I thought we want justice. I thought we want competent court jurisdiction to review our matter. I thought we want Nigeria to give us the privilege to take our matter before international community, let it be discussed. But this is China Sanwo-Olu, the same freedom fighter. If you touch them, lynch them, you use them and you dump them. This is what you people do. On this platform, they destroy you completely. Do you know how many widows you have made? Do you know how many orphans you have made? What about the widowers? You people will not escape from this evil.
we are going to provide a number after this broadcast for people in this particular area. Some of them, they make calls to you. You record them. We have voice evidence because these criminals did not know. We have been trailing them. After investigation, we found out that these people are not even ESN. They are criminals and they are from this community, from Osumo people. That is why this evening, if anybody know who is called Emmanuel, he goes by the guy named Oberago. We are telling Osumo people that this guy is not an ESM member, and anywhere you see him,
he is simply telling Nigeria, the guy Oberago, this is where he come from. Go and kill him. Where is Akowara? Where is Akowara? And to the zombie, they say, oh, they are doing good. All these evil people, all these evil people. Angel China Sanwo-Olu, Angel Chike Doziem. If na person do now, it no go better for that person. They call him Oberago. Nigerian, go and get him. If you don't get him, all of you will be exposed. That is how they rule.
if he come to steal from you, you have the right to kill them. You have the right to catch them. You have the right to do them anything. And we will drop a number for you to call. Anytime some of those things happen, the ESN command in Anambra will come for help. And if we know where they are staying, we are telling you we are coming to dislodge them.
If they know where they are staying, they will call Nigerian army to dislodge them. A whole Benjamin Madubugu, the freedom fighter, did he not call police, Nigerian army, to arrest a cross section of ESM who refused to obey his direction? After seal delivered and documented, volunteers came to me crying, oh God, if you see money, if you see money, if you see money, if you see Ghana must go, where then they bring it come for Benjamin house for Ihiala Mbose. If you see money, most of them want to run mad the level of money they see. And then the Canis and the mind, yes, our elder haven't discussed, we have delivered, we have documented, we have mechanized you, and even Aloha now told him Biafra is coming 2020. How can we be this stupid? We told them after our own saboteur, no more saboteur. Stop betraying our people. his name is Oberago, Nigerian, please go and do that. We will dislodge them. You claim to be Abia man, Ngwa man. Come down here and dislodge us. We are running from one Asian country to another. Well, you are running up and down, hiding fake ID, fake family, everything fake. We will dislodge him. You will still send another zombie to dislodge another zombie, and when that zombie refuses to do, you will still call that zombie that is a fake one. What a shame.
In a matter of days, we are telling you, if you know you are going by this name, it's better you leave Osmo today, because if ESN steps in, you are a dead man. Another person they call Innocent Odieke, he is from Isu Osumo. Innocent Odieke, he is from Isu Osumo. He is not an ESN member, he is not IPOD member. Do not believe those people that come to you and ask you they need money for granite, they need money to support them, they need money for food. It is ESN.
But we can't continue deceiving ourselves. Benjamin have his own ESN. Obase have his own group. Chinasa have his own group. Simeon Ekpa have his own group. Adande Highway have their own group. We have many security outfits. When I ventured into the issue of BSS, I begin to see different group of BSS. I begin to see different leaders of BSS, all from around the world. I knew where the problem was coming. And each of these groups were determined. In fact, they were on each other's neck. And I thought all of you were fighting for the same purpose. These people are weapons. You don't need to control them. You only need to position them to use them. These ones you are betraying, they may be the one that will defend Biafra. In case you don't know, Fulani have finished preparing their war stand. Yorubas are ready to defend their territory. And then there's zombie like Chinas and where he's telling you they are going to kill them, they are lynching them. So ESM they kill people. You agree now that ESN kill people? But we understand what you mean. You're just selling them out. Maybe they've been arrested, they will indict all of you. Or maybe it's a collaborated effort to lynch those guys.
ESN don't do those things. Another person is Izuchukwu from Amoda Osumo.
Izuchukwu? Tell me now. Three of your brothers.
His name is Izuchukwu. After these brothers we are going to list their names. They are not ESM members, and they are the ones why we are not stepping in, because they are from your community. These are your sons. You know them more than ESN. You know their past behavior. You know they were criminals. You know, before the formation of ESN, you know they were criminals in your community. So why is it that now?
This reminds me, when I was invited to come to Anambra, that pastor that was killed in his house, they hosted a program. They titled it Back to Your Root. They now call George ONYIBE the Mungu. We are doing Back to Your Root. Special invitation. Chinas Anworu, another member of the DOS, they hired court boys. They hired court boys. Their target is to kill George ONYIBE. And of course to destroy the image of Obidio Obienu, because he's in Oba. But of course, if the gods has not killed you, nobody can kill you. Yes, sir, we are waiting for you. As I'm just few building away from the venue. In less than 20 minutes, I made that statement. That venue was attacked. The owner of the house was killed. People were robbed. I think maybe 2 or 3 people were killed. I didn't say anything. I told people that no. I said this was meant for me. I told them in the DOS. Because when Chinasa came in the DOS forum and he started saying, oh no, you people have seen, begin to talk nonsense without any direction. A match will be the say, if there is problem, let us know. Which one is you coming, you dragging different picture now? They clean one name, and they clean one name. I'm just looking at them. The frustration was much. Judge ONYIBE was on the forum. He didn't go to Oba after all, and so they didn't get him. Maybe they will be looking for a black man like me to lynch. The cultists did not succeed. And so, if those cultists were caught, they did not, we don't know them, we don't know them. A prostitute and the one that patronized prostitute, is there any difference between them? We need to reveal all these things. The more IPOB or IPO bingos led by Nnamdi Kanu is trying to hide anything, the more they will disgrace themselves. Chinasa is coming to discuss, Tony Zurumike is coming to broadcast. They want to tell you rubbish. He has mentioned 3 names. They must be killed. Rubbish.
One of them, you killed their senior brother because he's a criminal. So why are you now pointing a criminal towards IPOB when you know their family history? You know who they are. You know why he is coming to attack you people. And you go back and say it is ESN. They tell you that ESN asked you to submit your rifle. Do not submit your rifle. Do not submit any rifle. ESN did never ask anybody to submit their local rifles they are using to protect themselves from the Fulani herdsmen in case of eventuality. There is nothing of that nature. Another person is called Ofoli. They call him Baby. Baby is not an IPOB member. Anybody under IPOB and ESN must be under command. If you feel that you are too big to work under IPOB or ESN, then...
And now, this is where you get the truth. Anybody that is under IPOB must be under IPOB command. And now, most of them have seen that command is evil. That command undermines your position. They destroy your moral. Now the Kanu will command you. Take him Urumi. Chinasa will command you and force it down your throat. But some people will not take it. And so the moment they command you, you refuse to take drug. They command you to go and kill somebody. You refuse to kill the person. And then you are no longer IPOB. So if you are a member, you heard him say so. If you are a member of IPOB, you must be under IPOB command. And now you begin to understand. Judge ONYIBE expelled. We expel you from Biafra. Ngewa, expel me from Biafra. Because I'm not under that rubbish command. I'm not under that rubbish command. You lead the young men and women to their death. There are vital information report. Akuwara was assigned by Nnamdi Kanu to kill a cross-section of BSS member, and he said, I will do no such thing. From that day, Akuwara become a kidnapper. And then some of you want to cover, we got to leave it, let's move on, let's do Chinas and Wodu, those audio you have, play them. You people will tell you, people are the one who write agenda, will follow you. Play it and come out. Your audio is waiting for you. People will see how rotten you are. All of you. Criminals.
You find your way and go and do whatever. if we hear any nonsense against you, we will mention your full name and we will make sure you are being dealt with. They call you Isioma Inobuli Ihejofo. Isioma Inobuli Ihejofo. Isioma, you are claiming you are an ESN member. ESN does not, we don't invade into people's privacy. ESN Ibala. You say you are ESN member, you form a gang in Obulis Ihejofo, settling matters, husband and the wife, orange. You form and interfering in community issues, again village and giving them fine. We are telling you from this night, we are telling people in Obuli Hejofo, anywhere Isioma gathered, saying he is doing anything in the name of IPOB, he coming to settle. You are going to issues, land issues, settling land issues. This is not IPOB, this is not ESN. In the name of ESN. This night is the last warning. The last warning. ESN does not interfere in community issues, how the kingship or how the people with their family or marketplaces. We do not interfere. It is not our duty. It is not our.
But it's their duty to say sit at home, close your shop, or we kill you. It is their duty to command you stay at home. If we catch you, we kill you. We lynch you. We destroy you. They have told you don't pay revenue, don't pay Okada revenue, don't pay any form of tax to the government, all the way from diaspora. You go cheat something. This is how they betray us. But what are the elders? It's quite a long audio, and I won't spend this program playing those audio. But at least you got some. The main rotty ones are behind. Ignoring these issues on ground, in the process of creating a nation, will not change anything or bring about any good for the people, but rather poses a danger that will eventually undermine us as a people. Area that we must pay attention to are those issues that must be addressed. But I heard her speaking. Holy Angel Michael Onandekano is enjoying in DSS. His Facebook lawyer will come out and say our leader is hungry. Rano. He's hungry. He's a ulcer patient. He's sick. He didn't see his doctor. They remove. Is it 21 pint of blood? They remove from his body. So how many pint of blood is in human body? We understand the mindset behind the controversial arrest. We are waiting for you. Wepo high kind Jesus Babelieka. Extra international divine orientation meditation. How did they call his arrest? Rendition, orientation, meditation international. Our leader is suffering, his family is hungry, his children are not fed. You talk cock and bull story. This issue must be addressed. You people stop telling lies so that Biafra can come. You can imagine China Samuru. Now go and look at these people he's calling their name. They may be Simeon Ekpa unknown gunmen. You know, in the other highway, all this group, all of them have their own security. He's trying to condemn them, but you don't know. You are the Mugu. Tomorrow, when you refuse to obey their command and control, what they will do is they will still announce you. What a shame. How many IPOB members, how many agitators has Nigeria killed in the end after all? We are the one doing the job for them. Where are the elders? First Republic generational parliamentarians. who went to beg Buhari to pervert justice and free Nnamdi Kanu. Where are they? Why has none of you spoken up about the cannibalism activity going on in Imo State? Only the supposedly saboteur governor. Only it. A lot of things has gone wrong. But as we grew, we understand, no. A whole nation cannot be condemned by the sins of one man. And with this knowledge and understanding, under our watch, it can never happen. Nigerian did us horrible things. Let's go back a little bit. In those days as a child, we have many songs we sing, all about Igbo. All these things are born through mere or sheer hatred, envy and jealousy. Men always fear that which they don't understand. And so my people, Sonya Mani Hibe Mani Apo YG here. We used to sing. Ndi Igbo na-eri mmadụ anụ nkịta dị n'ọkụ. Ndi Igbo na-eri mmadụ anụ nkịta dị n'ọkụ. Are you telling me it's true? Or there are some criminals who have taken mkpụrụ mmiri, having been starved by this same China Sanwo-Olu, living in the bush as directed by Nnamdi Kanu, has no option than to eat human being to survive. Does that mean we eat human being? If you do not expose this evil, maybe the next generation will say, ndị osu na-eri mmadụ anụ nkịta dị n'ọkụ, ndị osu na-eri mmadụ anụ nkịta dị n'ọkụ. And it's Yoruba or Hausa that will teach us how to sing it. Rubbish. Which other has come to condemn it? Which other have said anything about it? This is sacrilege. This is abomination. From where I come from, if you try that rubbish, by now your family, your entire generation will be half away into the inside the desert. They will be half in the middle of the desert. The people who would have spoken up are behind it. All these ones are just a scapegoat. Scanning and in the evil China Sanwo-Olu, you are accused of embezzling millions of IPOB money. He never responded. Oh, he's a mature man. Why will he respond? It's unfortunate. And now these are the areas that we must pay attention to, as those issues must be addressed. Number one, all of you in the media, like I have told you earlier, all of you in the volunteer who have information in what is happening, you will be neutralized. They will set all of you up. That is the last lap of this agitation. Because Nnamdi Kanu, with the availability of many lions and tigers on the loose, he cannot act Jagaban. If Nnamdi Kanu want to visit any state, people arrange the venue for him. People guard the road for him. People are ready to die. Do you know people received bullet for him when he was evacuated? But he was not in the house. He don't run commot. Even 12 hours before the invasion of his house, he knew they were coming. So he was not even at home. The zombies at the gate knew he was not at home. Most of them anyway. What are we trying to say? To come back and then begin to act as a Jagaban. All of you strong men that know about him, he will neutralize all of you. They have finished the arrangement. I just don't want to get into some matter now. Maybe very soon they will create a platform that will enable us blow all their dirty game out. They will come for all of you. Some of you now, you are in the media. Have you ever imagined when they are telling you, go and write a disclaimer? I am not a human rights follower. I don't follow Uchimefo is a criminal. They ask you, somebody tell you to write something against somebody who has not offended you, and you come and write it just to answer IPO bingo. Are you normal? Are you normal? This is a process of making a nation. And any hand we use to start laying the first block, I will assure you, all of them will, if we continue like this, not properly plumbing the blocks, all of them will fall out of joint. And it's going to be a collapsed building in the end. So you people must understand, this issue must be reviewed. They just announced the slaughtering of a cross section of their unknown gunmen. This eventually may be to cover some track. And so after some years, now the Kano will come, and I begin to think, holy. Maybe then it will be 20 years of agitation. In the Kano, it's another year. And then once in a while, you say, if you don't give us Biafra, we will destroy Nigeria. Government will say, but we have settled this matter now. You say, I need something in my account. You go receive a lot. Pium. You go run enter inside house. And I don't see all of them, they run up and down for Biafra land. And I don't see all of them. We know all these things. At the end of Ojukwu ministry, if you need money, he go to the press. The next thing he hears is Ojukwu spit fire. Go to Aburezie. They send delegates. Ojukwu, why are you splitting fire? He said, my account is empty. They fill it for him. Well, like I said, he gets our respect at the end. Because he was not hiding it. He didn't betray any of us to be there. And some of you, you build your ship of freedom, the salvation ship, just like the colonial master. One of the slave ships, his name of the slave ship is Jesus Christ. These are angels of darkness manifesting as angels of light. Have you ever wondered why no bishop, no elder, no monarch, intellectuals, nobody is commenting about this atrocity, this sacrilege? Nobody. How can this be happening in our land? They have ransacked a whole village. Everybody in that village has run out. IPOB media warriors did not see it. Okay, it's not Fulani headsmen doing it, so you don't need to talk about it. Now let it be on a clear note. We came to fight for Biafra because it is our right. It is our right to self-determination. We understand the size, the magnitude of the conspiracy against us as a people. The overwhelming power of international community who are sitting on this issue of Nigeria. We are clearly aware of it. We understand how weak we are, but also understand that we can do great things. We can do so much if we initiate the right formula. And so, through the preamble of law, it is our desire to engage every stakeholder, every interested party to stand still by the book. By the book. And of course, not overruling the fact that we are ready to defend ourselves when necessary, but not to criminalize Biafra. We are fully aware that when Nigerian judiciary hurries to the judicial market and buy a name for IPO bingos and call them terrorists, they were not. But of course, no moral man today will tell you that IPOB bingo led by Nnamdi Kanu is not a terrorist. Nobody. Because they've lived up to the status. And now, in conclusion, choosing to support evil when you know it is evil is the greatest act of wickedness. And those of you who have what it takes to prevent evil from gaining ground in our land and refuse to do so, something about it is simply accomplished. You know how to stop evil. You are just an accomplice about the whole issue. So you are therefore encouraged. Reposition yourself where you can be able to stop this evil, where you can be able to put hands together with other eminent Biafrans and stop this evil. And I can assure you, before the end of December, Chinasa Nworu is going to orchestrate the killing of over 50 Biafrans who has fallen out of order. They refuse to command, they refuse to be controlled, and for that they are going to die. Is that the Biafra we are looking for, or is another one we are going to expect? Why are you people not telling us a whole village have been ransacked already? We have Boronu in Imo State. Our lines are open at this moment. You're free to call in. Our direct line is 08122152971. 08122152971. Our direct line once again is 08122152971. Our WhatsApp line is 070815454642. 070815454642. And of course, if you cannot access the studio line and you have access to any of my social media platform, you're free to call in there and make your contribution. Let us not deceive ourselves. Let us not allow anybody to deceive us. All this evil going on, we continue to analyze them. We continue to reveal them. We continue to discuss about them. We continue to talk about them, because these are the only thing that will ensure, that will guarantee the safety of all Biafrans in the end. You can see a cross section of Biafrans has placed it upon themselves to decide who live and who die. And so you see, in the absence of Nnamdi Kanu, another person, Chinasa Nworu, is giving you order. If you see them, lynch them. If you see them, kill them. If you see them, finish them. But I wish Chinasa Nworu is in Biafra land, so that we redefine their community for him. But it's not here, and it's not coming anytime near. And then he's going to use you and dump you. The day you know the truth, you become a saboteur, and they bring in new zombies like all the ones you are seeing running around on social media. To them, they are serving Biafra, their fatherland. They're getting involved in matter they know nothing about. Of course, at this moment, like I said, our lines are open. You want to call in, you're free to call in. We are on FM. Those of you in River State, those of you in Delta State and Anambra State, some area you can get Biafra Human Rights and Freedom Radio Station on FM. I'm joined by Agowani at this moment. If you can hear me, Agowani, good evening from here.
I can hear you, Diokpa. Good evening, sir, from here.
Well, welcome to the program. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Good evening, good morning, good night, good afternoon, depending on your time zone. All the well-meaning and the lovers of freedom all over the world, our men of substance over there, I greet all of you. And Dr. ONYIBE, I greet you, sir. And really, you have overemphasized everything. I don't think there's any other analysis one have to make. But I will still encourage you and thank you for the good work you are doing for us and all your analysis. You have already said it all. It's only for those that didn't know all the gullibles that he will continue to be deceiving. The only thing I want to chip in there is this. I'm calling on all those people that are in the bush, because I know very soon they will start fighting themselves. I think it's the high time they will open their eyes and come out to rehabilitate their brains and know that these people did not want them alive. He has started giving order now so that they will start selecting those that are not obeying their evil command and control again to kill them. And this thing, he came up to say this thing to cover up what happened yesterday, day before yesterday. Because immediately when the police and the combined team made that press statement and showcased what happened in Ihal and Usu in Imo State, he jumped up and came to start saying this rubbish in order to cover the atrocities that have happened. And indirectly want to use this thing now to showcase that there are the people killing people and roasting them and eating them like yam in the bush. Now all the money they collected, now he started from blackmailing somebody of collecting money and eat it. Indirectly, he was trying now to show that maybe all the money made for the ESN was not given to them. Look at the ones arrested, all of them are like bonga fish. That's why they don't have any food to eat, only to drink nkurumiri and roast human being and eat. The things they are used to hear in stories that these people are turning our people to be now. And my advice to them is that let them come out of that bush. Let them know that Ekperima has sold the struggle. And China Sanworu, the murderer, and every other people, they have gathered the money, put inside their pocket. And now, like as you said, I'm suspecting those that he announced their names to be killed. There are the non-government of Simon Ekpa, Nelly Ofegu, and Co. Because all of them have theirs. So it appears as if maybe those ones are powerful now. They want to challenge his own killer squad. So he's running to the air now to start calling their names so that maybe Nigerian government will go after them. But if that being the case, if all those people are so daft that they themselves will not do the needful, because it's left for them to come on air themselves and still challenge him and expose him as well. Because it's the reason why they continue doing these things, because when they threaten you and come on air, you listen and hear what he said, that if the other one tries to say anything, the last person he called his name, if he tries to say anything, that he will come on air again and mention the correct name, that's his true name, his surname, and where he stays. That's the threat. Maybe he's afraid of that one, knowing full well that maybe that one will come to say something, and he's threatening him now that if he dare make a PM. Okay, people that are not an ESM member, they are not even a POB member, why are you threatening them not to make a PM? You have said their own, allow them to say their own. There's something he is covering up that he don't want people to know, and all those things he is covering, he didn't want people to know. People will know all of them finish. You people stay abroad and instigating violence in our villages, killing our children every day. It will never be well with all of you. The way you are killing our children. And I'm asking myself, does it mean that there's no youth in all these places that are killing all these people? Can't them mobilize themselves and go to their own families and kill them too? By the time that Ijele said this thing in his one of his posts, I saw one certain time, and I'm supporting him for what he said. This thing will only stop when people will mobilize and start going to their own families and start lynching them the way they're lynching people's children. He will be in abroad running out like a tap, leaking tap. instigating violence, telling people to go and lynch people's children, and you are there whether you have family or not. Don't they make their own investigation and find the true place this idiot come from? Let them go and find it. And all of them that are killing people, and I'm telling Nigerian government, any day anybody crawl to Abuja again to tell any of them to talk about negotiation in order to release a Ekperima, let them get the person arrested. The person is the sponsor of all these killings in our land, and I don't know how their faces are being covered with shame now. All of them that are going to Abuja to negotiate for the release, unconditional release of a killer. Look at what they have turned our children to be. Look at that small boy that is of secondary school age, that is among those 30 people are arrested. They have not told us the ones they shot to before arresting those ones, because based on their press release, they said that they engaged them in a gun battle. Then along the line, they overpower them, they neutralize them according by their language. Then at the end, a whole 30 were arrested. Look at the horrible things they brought out from their camp. Meaning that video that came out that late last month, then they cut 2 heads. Then one was sitting down waiting for when he will be killed as well, and they make fire as if they want to roast that head, meaning that actually they are roasting the heads. And that thing that we are doing that day, that we are in their camp, the place they form as their village square inside the bush, that we are doing that thing and showcase it on social media. I told them that period they posted that thing that they have killed themselves because their faces we are seen and their commander's name we are known, and they now declare them wanted. They don't know it's the blood of the innocent souls they are killing in our place that is avenging them now, because their brains are not in order again. They don't know what they are doing again. They thought that they are doing it normally. Even the China Sangoru coming on air yesterday to start saying this thing to cover up the atrocities that happened between Ihala and Osu in Olu State, in Olu in Imo State. He is exposing himself the more because he is talking to intelligent people. These people are so daft that they don't even know that when they are making a post or when they are talking, making a video, people are reading meanings in what they are saying. People that have intelligence are reading meanings and they know exactly what you are trying to cover up. Threatening somebody, you are saying something, somebody that is not your member, and you are threatening the person not to make a PM, that if he make a PM, okay, how then did you know his name and everything about him since he's not your member? Hey, who is fooling who? Is it not the right time these people will come out from this stupidity they are into? Look at the one they called their lawyer day before yesterday. That one was analyzing the routine of visiting Ekperima in the dungeon. Look at his younger brother, call himself a powerful, fine boy, coming to write garbage and post. His heart is deteriorating. They remove blood from his body 25 times in a day, or what he said. Where is the body? Where did he keep the body? They are removing the blood and he's still there. What are these people taking people for Christ's sake? Somebody that have killed almost more than the people killed during the Biafra Nigerian war, that you are now talking about him, his health, and his family. After collecting all our money and made us widows and widowers, you are talking of his family. The way you people kept us childless and widow and widowers, that's how the nature will do to all your family. And I don't know why all these youths, what are they still waiting for? Don't they know the Ekperima house? By the time they get hold of his brother and that stupid bleaching lawyer, when they get hold of him, then themselves will confess, because they are part and parcel of this thing that is happening. They know the in and out of it. Jofo is his name. His hand is into these atrocities going on in our land. How can you call yourself a lawyer and somebody you are defending is doing this kind of a thing? And that man called Abaribe, federal government should hold that man accountable. He is part and parcel of this. He has been using RPOB to be doing a political thuggery. They are the one carrying ballot paper for them. That's why he was crying bitterly the other time that they had to make it to one election before, and the man is working against them. How did he help a governor to win? Because he using all these volunteers to be doing toggery for politicians and be collecting money and be putting into his pocket. And anytime he found out that any of the volunteers have had the opportunity of talking face to face with the governor or any of the elite, he will send people to go and eliminate the person, because he doesn't want anybody that we know the true nature of what he is doing. And that's why he has been pursuing you bomber to make sure that he gets you eliminated, because he knows very well that he knew everything that he is doing, and he knew that he cannot equate you physically or even spiritually. Then he started looking for it by all means. But one thing is sure, they will never go free from this. And one thing I'm coming to realize is that, the Bible says that everything worketh together for good, for the purpose of those that love God, and the purpose of those that are called according to his promises. Do you know that this number 4 that had become number 1, that they made us to be singing like music that time? Do you know that God really prepared that man to be in Imo State to do wonders? If it has been these PDP criminals that are still in Imo State, what would have been this thing we are seeing now? Okay, all of a sudden, herdsmen disappeared. We are not hearing about Fulani herdsmen again. This will tell you that they are the ones that have been orchestrating all those things. When they kill people, finish, they will bring it out and start shouting Fulani, Fulani. If these people did not storm their camp now and captured them, all those bodies they threw into those burial pits, very soon when they start decaying, they will come out now and video it and bring it on social media and start crying that is what Fulani herdsmen did. Fulani herdsmen did. I think it's high time Nigerian government should do the needful. Let these people stop this rubbish. They have turned Biafra to a caricature, an object of caricature. Even if you go to social media, you will be ashamed even to identify yourself that you are from Igbo. Now they have turned the Igbo to cannibal. So any little thing you do with anybody now in the nation, they will tell you that your people eat human being. While is the people that they have carried and initiated into the occultic kingdom and turned their brain to beasts that are roasting human being and eating. It's not our culture. These people are defiling our land, for Christ's sake. And the experiment there has already, his brain has been removed, and God has given him a reprobate heart that nothing will ever make him to repent or to do anything good again. And they are using him for their evil plot. I think it's high time our people will get up. Let those that the beauty of the nation still concerns, let them stand up. I thank God for you, Diokpa, and for our director, for giving us this child of circumstance. I don't know where we would have been now if not because of this human radio. Let people come up, for Christ's sake, and speak up. If you keep quiet, these people will kill all of you, finish. And you are keeping quiet, hiding. If you compromise evil, you are part of the evil. All these elders that went to Abuja, if you people fail to come out and talk, and all the World Igbo Congress, and Pastor, is it Father or Demegwa Oko, all of you must come out now and speak up. Is it the ESN you people are sponsoring? Look at what you people are sponsoring are doing in the bush. Killing people, roasting them, eating them. See how they hang people's meat as where they are selling soya. All the things we watch in Discovery and the movies are the things that are now doing in our land, and you people keep quiet. If you keep quiet, the elemental bodies, the 4 elemental bodies will work against all of you, because you are marching ground where you are, you are drinking water where you are, you are breathing in air where you are, and you are eating food cooked with fire wherever you are. That 4 elemental bodies must come against all of you. If you think that God is not seeing, He's seen all of you. All of you have to stand up now and speak against this evil. What kind of wickedness is this? Since yesterday I watched this thing today, my body has never been the same. I never, even if I want to eat food and remember how somebody's body is pieces and be roasted and be eaten like food, I will vomit whatever thing I put inside my mouth. These people are defiling our land, are defiling everything. And that murderer will have the inventory to come on the air and start talking rubbish. If you people like the ones he called your names, if you like, go and hide under your bed or go and hide inside another bush instead of you to come out and challenge him back. You people expose yourselves. Let's actually know where our problem is coming from. Everything and Harry know this info. Nelly Ofego has exposed him enough. And he is now trying to cover up all the evil they are committing. But the time that God will punish all of them is when they will touch any BNA family person. They thought that everybody is myopic and naive as other people are. Any day they will do that, they are rubbish and look for any BNA family person and touch. That day, their ship will capsize and none of them will come out of it. All the people going to ask for political solution, and all the ones that have indicted themselves by coming on air to support the cannibal, shame on you, all of you, shame on you, because God, the blood of our children, you people have been killing, wasting, is tormenting our brains now. One of them or two of them will just be pushed, they will jump on air and start talking rubbish. And after talking the rubbish, the thing will manifest. I don't know how you people are covering your faces on shame now. Everybody is doing freedom fighting, using it to enrich their pockets. Women using it to do prostitution, and you call all of them freedom fighting. I don't know the kind of freedom you people are fighting. And they thought that the government, if it is possible for you to apprehend a Perima being their head, is it the other Jangarovas, all those ones outside the country inciting violence into your nation as you claim, you will not pick up? I think it's time you're supposed to work with other countries. You people have your international relationship as country versus country. You have to discuss with the other country presidents. Let all of them that are causing nuisance into this country and they are living under fortified and the beautiful and air-conditioned room there, let all of them be deported into the country. Let them come and lead the war. If you people fail to do this, it then means that you people are accomplice to the evil that is happening in our land. How can somebody go to another man's country that has been beautified and placed in order and be there destroying his own land because he's not at home? As the government is working to repatriate all these idiots, let those at home get up and go and meet their own families. There was a time the one they called Efe, or what they call her, was saying that I think early last month or thereabout, saying that is the time that their own unknown government, because he's working for the Umada Highway, that they are going to go after, they should go and kill all the reverend fathers, the Pentecostal reverend fathers, and also the Igwes. And it's not up to a month to plus. She said that thing, they started manifesting it. And she herself is still in Italy or whichever place in Europe there, fooling herself there, prostituting up and down, that is doing a freedom fight. They should repatriate her, let her come to Urubo where she came from and stay there and face the fight. Now they have started killing the Igwes, abducting them, killing them, roasting them and eating them. You should come and follow them and eat them, because there are some ladies like you that are staying in the bush with them. You should be repatriated from there. All of you that are there destroying our land. I'm so angry, Diopa, this night. Let me just stop so far. I'm just so angry. These people has beaten what they will not swallow. What kind of carnage is this? Look at the kind of horrible sight, to the extent that a soldier man echoed, Jesus Christ. What kind of people are these? Those that are even trained, that are trained to kill, saw this thing and the ghost people cut all of them up. And this idiot will have the inventory to come to the air yesterday to come and cover up the atrocities they have gathered our children to do with. And all those ones now that they have packed, are they coming back again? They have not told us the numbers that have already been shot. I don't know the kind of cultic kingdom they carry the brain of these children to go and keep. Since Ekperima raised the dragon flag, things never remain the same again. And all of them will die put for that dragon flag. He never talked anything about Biafra again. And all his gullible, mediocres are still talking rubbish as if he himself is still talking about Biafra. Maybe they thought that they will hijack it since he is no more there, and people will start worshiping them. Today is 2021, not to 2022, not to 2013, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You people used our brain to play chess game. It will not happen again. Doctor, thank you. Let me stand by and listen to what others have to say. I'm just so angry this night. Thank you for your good work.
Thank you very much. Of course, as they say, truth is bitter. We do not expect everyone to understand or to be able to assimilate what is going on in a time like this. But of course, it's working. People are waking up already. People are seeing the truth already. We are not here to change narratives. We are here to ensure complete repentance and a over 360-degree turnaround to the right direction. I'm joined by Mazio Bidi at this moment. Can you hear me, sir? That in the Lord.
Yes, I can hear you.
Good evening, sir, from
thank
here.
you so much.
You're welcome to the
good
program.
afternoon from here, and I thank you for what you're doing for us. Blessed be to the name of God Almighty. In every situation, we must give him praise. This is your brother Bidio Biena. For the interest of the listeners, this message must continue, and nothing is going to stop this message until the revision is done. You say 360 degrees. If there's more degrees to it to make it clearer, well, that's all I go for. And I want to thank you. I want to thank my sister, ONYIBE. You can hear her heart being poured out on this forum this evening. A mother, a very strong mother, who did not care about herself or her life in the beginning of this drama. She came out and spoke the truth, similar to Ada Biafra. It does so many of other brothers who are in Biafra land who did not care about their lives, but rather they came out on time to speak the truth to their people. I want to commend them. I want to bless the name of God for all of them. And I know that God will grant them their heart desires. In the name of our Lord Yeshua. So also to you, ONYIBE, who did not care, but rather you stood the ground for truthfulness. And this is what attracts me to whatever you're doing. I've been absent for a couple of days now because of some engagements, but back full time again so that we can completely destroy this Satan's kingdom. I sang it in a song last time, but the point is, it's not just singing the song, it's out of my heart that song came out, that we must destroy this kingdom that Satan has built over the time in our land. ONYIBE, there are so many things you said this evening, and I'm not going to be able to say it the way you did, but few areas that I want to touch on. One is the analysis concerning what happened a few days ago. Just to piggyback on what you already said, my thinking in all this, ONYIBE, you see the names they are calling? You see all those names they are calling? Those are the smarter ones who escaped that setup. They escaped their setup. I want you to understand That you see those guys, they said they caught 2 days ago in wherever the police swoop on them and everything. Those guys are really nothing. Those guys you see there, most of them are the ones that are held hostage in that camp. They are more or less the errand boys. The main deadly ones, the ones that have killed so much, the ones that hung up those heads and they are eating them, the ones that are hung up, feeding on human flesh have gone. And if the government will tell ourselves the truth, the Nigerian government or whatever, they need to come clear. The ones that gathered, it was just the idiots amongst them. I can tell you that before even Chinasa came out yesterday to begin to call names, he was so frustrated that their setup did not catch on these guys that escaped. That knew their deal. Because this is part of the deal. Nande Kano with Chinasa who is walking has gathered these guys. They've been there for a while. That is the bush they always tell you about. Otherwise, how can you tell me that a whole community was sacked for days or months, according to the police officer, and nobody knew about it? The communities that ran away for a long time did not tell somebody what is happening. How can we believe that? So all these things that is happening, it's the federal government is enjoying it because they know that the issue of Biafra is real. They know that what we are saying was true. They know that the reason for this agitation is justified. But in all these things, they are trying to do some more damage to our people. That's what is happening. And I told you guys, nobody arrested in Nnamdi Kanu. The so-called extraordinary rendition was just another level of scam. Then 419 now we are discharging. Finally, when after collecting all your money, they will discharge you with the police. That's what is happening. So what you see playing out today is the discharging and trying to eliminate all these boys who have volunteered in the name of Biafra to fight for their freedom. That's all they're doing. China Sanworu is well aware that what happened yesterday or 2 days ago with the police will happen. He knew that. The toughest gangs, the criminals, have left the scenario. They have left because they are still not satisfied. They are still working to kill our people. They are still working to destroy these young men. And the reason why we are saying this is if these guys will have an opportunity to listen so they can run to any police station and submit themselves. And I can guarantee you this. I recall the radio broadcast Nnamdi Kanu made. The broadcast whereby he told everybody to go to the market square, break their phone, and bury it in the market square. And he warned them that if they catch on them, if they catch you and you are still having your phone, that is not part of it. And I begin to think with myself, how is this man commanding people to go and bury their phones? The phones that are just a communication gadget. The only thing that they can communicate with when there's danger. He's now ordering them. And these are part of the command and control for some of these clowns who are jumping up and down talking about command and control. As you can see, their order is if you cannot listen, if you cannot follow simple instruction, if you cannot do what they want you to do, you are not part of IPOB. So these guys that they are calling their names publicly were people who ran away before they set them up. That's why they are making their names known to the Nigerian government. You know very well that his sister works for the Nigerian government. This is how they have been setting our people up and killing our people for all these years. The reason why when we started questioning them, they didn't know what to do but to blackmail us, to bring in that Soludo has paid millions to Uche for he shared with us. The reason why they went out and said that it was Rumba and Uche stole, embezzled $79,000. The reason why he brought in ONYIBE and claimed that she gave us 100,000 just to push us out and complete this their deal. So I want us to understand that this raid yesterday was just to gather the follows. They are still out there. Many of them are still out there. Because what you hear is threat. If you don't follow what we say, we must make sure we deal with you ruthlessly. And guess what? The Nigerian government is enjoying the whole show. They are killing our youths. They are killing our youths and nobody is standing for these youths. I wonder where Engineer Baribe is right now. I wonder where this old man they call whatever his name is. I wonder where he is now that wanted them to release a Epelima to him. Because all they want is to release the Epelima to him. But they are not caring about thousands of youths, ignorant youths who does not understand the whole thing. All these young men came out thinking that they are fighting for their nation. They never knew that they are being betrayed. They didn't know they are being set up to be killed. I listened to a program this afternoon. I listened to it twice before I even joined this program. And that was the program that General Obasanjo made on insecurity in Nigeria. In as much as there are so many things he said on that, some of which is just shooting himself on the leg, and some of them shows you clearly that he is involved in every situation, all these insecurities in the entire Africa, not just in Nigeria. But there are a few lessons that I learned from that very presentation. Okay, and I just want to add it. Hopefully, I can be able to manage the time and be able to incorporate it in what I'm saying this evening. In that presentation, and before this presentation, you recall that 2 days ago he went to visit the Igbo celebration somewhere in Lagos. And what did he say to them? He didn't comment what they're doing, but he was just warning them about the use of language. And they should stop insulting them, the way they talk to people. That's the message he gave them. He never commended them for what they're doing, but he's personally, essentially cautioning our people to know how we talk, to guide our people not to know how to be talking to people. And again, in this presentation, that is what he started with. He started with the way we talk to ourselves. And I knew when he was saying all these things, it's not referring to nobody, but the way Nnamdi Kanu was presenting the issue of Biafra. Now, within that presentation, he said so many things about the Boko Haram. He talked about Gumi, how Gumi came to him, and how he went to Sokoto to meet with the head of the Boko Haram, how the Boko Haram camps where the police or army does not even get close to, but at least Gumi can go and talk to these boys. According to him, these boys were, the Gumi said that these boys were soaked in drugs, similar to what we are witnessing in our land today. So he considered those boys, he considered their situation, he considered their gullibility. That's why he didn't go and kill them. He didn't bomb them just like he bombed the old people. Okay? So many things he said there. But in all this, what I picked up from the whole thing is that all these insurgencies in Nigeria, or every agitation, always have somebody representing them. For instance, the Boko Haram, they have the people representing them. We know that they are one of the governors, or some of the governors in the north, were their sponsors. We know that Buhari himself was speaking on behalf of the Boko Haram. We also know that in the Niger Delta, other prominent people from the riverine area were going out and speaking for their people. We do know that, the Yorubas have their own representative who are interfacing with the government while the agitation is going on. Okay? So, looking at all these examples, we know about Gumi now, who is now the so-called Sheikh Gumi, who is now interfacing with the government on the issue of bandits. And he's regulating everything. He's stopping the government from bombing the bandits. He's negotiating monies for them and everything. But the only agitation that doesn't have such thing is this Biafra agitation. There's nobody that interfaces with the government to give government condition. Engineer Baribe is coming out speaking from both sides of his mouth. Some days he's a Biafran, some days he's a Biafran in the spirit, some days he's a Biafran in the flesh. He becomes a dot nation, and they make T-shirts and everything about it. And the old man that went to ask for Nnamdi Kanu's release to himself also was there, Mbazurike Amechi, and all Jews of Kanu, whom they are now alleging. That now we know that, according to the IPONs, that Nnamdi Kanu was taken to Jews of Kanu for a meeting to discuss issues where their leader refused everything. And my question to people who are listening, with the confusion among all these factions in IPOB today, we have the factions that have the ONYIBE in America. We have them working with Simon. We have them working with Nelly Ofebu, who is an umpire herself. And these are, as I told you all before, that these are people who are brought in to finally conclude this deal and mess up the whole thing. And we have the so-called Directorate of Saboteurs who are on the other end. We also know that we have the Directorate of Berimas, which they call the emissaries. These factions are on a daily basis attacking one another, showing bank accounts and where you need to pay monies and everything. And we have the group of lawyers that say they are talking to Nnamdi Kanu. They can come out and tell you, oh, Nnamdi Kanu has not changed his clothes. Oh, they are drawing his blood 25 times in a week. Oh, they are not feeding him. They are getting all this information. One with common sense would have asked, why are they not giving the same information on the problem within his camp so that he can send a message through his brother or his attorneys? None of these idiots have asked these questions. None of these fools have asked these questions, because it would have been, let's say he does not have phone, but I know he does have phone. I told you guys the other time that what he does, he will call this group and give them another message. He will call another group and give them a different message. He will call the third group and give them another message. So there will be a war in the house. So he can find a reason to tell you guys that you guys betray me. I did not betray you, according to some of the fools who are calling on the radio saying about Aida said you will not betray us. You guys are betraying us. Have you asked yourself, why can't the same Pelima send a message out? I know they're going to do what I'm saying today, so tomorrow you're going to hear them do it. So let me say it ahead of time. What has stopped him from sending out message from these lawyers that are coming to tell you that he's well and hearty? Oh, his blood is being drawn. If anybody that says hi to him in the where they put him in confinement, the person gets in trouble. How come they have not told him what is going on with the camp, so he can he can send the same message back through his emissaries and lawyers or his brothers to the family to stop this drama, because you guys are shaming all of us today. How come he has not done this? And this is the reason I made the conclusion almost a year ago. And what came out of my mouth was Nnamdi Kanu is a Belima, the criminal of our time. And you guys didn't understand it till tomorrow. Some fools came out here because they think they're working overtime and getting some money, a few dollars, and they think they can assume position in IPOB. Today, they're the greatest mugu in IPOB. Okay? Now, all these things are happening. The people that are calling for political solution have not said anything after the Anambra State election. They have not called for these killings to stop. They have not called for these young men and women who are languishing in detention to be released. They have not stepped up to ask the government of Nigeria, please stop this killing. We are going to take charge of these things and we are going to stop this mess. Because they are all into this. They are all into this killing. They are enjoying what is going on. They knew they have all sold out. This is why David Umahi was able to eliminate 5 engineers. And up to tomorrow, nobody knows where the 5 engineers are. So many of them. This is why he has left Abia and Abia State and Aba particularly the way he is. By the way, I was talking about something working good for us. I will never believe that the Supreme Court governor is saying anything good to the Imo. He is just fighting his enemies. Remember, it's not only a Nnamdi Kanu is doing this. There are so many criminals in Imo State that are using these things and recruiting these boys and killing this future of tomorrow. And nobody is saying anything. There is no single man in Igbo land today. There's no conscientious human being. There is no honorable, even though now that everybody now answers honorable. There's none whatsoever. Because none of them can stand up for the truth. What we are witnessing today is a collection of a lot of thuggery in the name of politics, or rather made compounded by the idiocy and ludicrousness of Nnamdi Kanu with all this ESN and unknown government. And I know that a lot of people will go out tomorrow and say that unknown government and ESN is not doing anything wrong. They are in the bush. Now you can tell the kind of bush where they are. They are in their bush. eating human beings. And you guys are expecting, you guys are looking forward for a development, growth in the land with all this blood that is wasted. I tell you all, you are hallucinating. Because if there's no man in the land to say enough of this, if there's nobody that can stand up and say enough of this, first of all these people that are making videos all over the world and supporting and collecting money, it's enough evidence to indict them. People that are setting up accounts to support ESN, it's enough evidence to indict them and bring them down wherever they are. So do not pretend that you haven't got enough evidence. Even the Nigerian government knows that they have tons of evidence to prosecute these idiots. But they are allowing this game to play longer so that so many people can die. Now our land has become the land of organ harvesting. As they are killing these boys, they are harvesting their organs and they are selling them. It's a lucrative business. They are making money out of it and they are enjoying it. And sometimes I sit up here and I cry from morning till night. I don't know where our help will come from, if not from God Almighty who dwells in heaven. And it's so sad. So sad. But I will stop it so far. Next time I come on board, I'll be able to analyze more on some of the things that General Obasanjo was saying. I shared the post, and what I wrote, the caption is Akukon Beno Mana, because it's more or less long stories on how many presidents he visited, how he knew about dangers that are coming on in country. Like he said, he was hosted in Afghanistan before by the president before the overtake of the Taliban. He was there, and he took him by surprise. He was there in Kenya. He knows how to solve issues with Niger and Mali. He went to give a report to Macron, and this is 90-year-old man giving report to a 37-year-old man, but refusing young men in Nigeria to get up. Obasanjo has been in government since I came out, since he was 20-something years, 25, 28. He's still here, and people are still sitting around this man listening and clapping hands for him. I don't know what he's going to fix at this dead age, at this late age. I'm sorry, because the people don't die by age. At this late age, that he has been in authority, he has been a military head of state, he has been a civilian president. Obasanjo never fixed nothing. But tomorrow he will come out to tell you, he will boast that they fought to keep Nigeria one. And look at the Nigeria he fought to keep Nigeria with. And no solution. People are sitting around clapping for him, and he's telling them, I could come Beno one man. That is how pathetic this situation is. And tomorrow he wants to command respect. He wants you to respect him because he feels like he's an authority. He wants you to respect him because he feels like he's an elder man. Okay, then I'll go there. My reverend, I need to allow other people to speak, but it's so sad. It's so sad. Even today, I am so down that I don't even know what type of call to start making, because it appears that we need to, just palm low now for the meantime and go back to the drawing board. What we are asking, the reason for this agitation is equity. That's it. And I can understand that up to tomorrow, all these people that whenever you talk about equity and justice, they will come in front of you and say, don't say it this way. I'm surprised that in the wake of this evil, that they are not saying anything again. All of them are quiet, both the ones that are talking about devolution of state, the ones that are talking about presidency. None is saying anything. Tomorrow, if another group comes up, they will jump in and say, oh, you are not saying it right. But I can tell you, if Nigeria says there be one, if we are one Nigeria, we should be allowed to be one Nigeria. Okay? There's one other thing that Obasanjo said. He said there's no group of people in Nigeria that will say that they are being marginalized unless the people are the ones marginalizing themselves. And that's one good thing I learned. You look at the whole thing, my brother. We are the ones marginalizing ourselves. It's the people that are supposed to fix things that are not fixing it, and we are just taking our grievances across them instead of holding them accountable. Now, who will tell you that after all the names that they call Ojus Okano on the radio Biafra, after all the things that Nnamdi Kanu talked about him, that Ojus Okano will be going around now to go visit Nnamdi Kanu and calling him his brother? Can't you tell that there's something going on that we didn't quite understand? Okay, so this is what it is. Okay, we need to pack completely and reorganize ourselves, because this marginalization, this thing that is happening to us, is coming from our people. It's no Fulani or nobody. And I think that lesson from Obasanjo. No tribe will allow any marginalization if it's not for the people. And this is what I understand. Because after hearing him and hearing what he said about representation, how all these groups have people, no matter how deadly they are, they still have representation interfacing with the government. And somebody here suggested that a long time ago. I brought it on Nnamdi Kanu, but he knows everything because he already have a criminal intention in what he's doing. He wants to be all over. He doesn't want you to meet with nobody. He wants to meet with nobody. He wants to cuss out everybody and turn around and go collect money from them. And people are still fooling around. My people, it is high time we make use of our sense. Let us gather once more, gather under the Biafra de facto customary government. Even as you come, you must be resilient in all that you're doing. You must be truthful as you come, and you must be humble, because this fight is not one-man show. It's a fight for all of us, if we know, and we must fight it responsibly, not like animals. Of course, what we are witnessing today is more or less like fools everywhere. So, with that, I will let it be for now. Thank you very much for allowing me this long time to be able to express myself, and I hope I connected this evening. Thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you.
My God in heaven bless you.
Thank you very
in Jesus'
much.
name.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And of course, we understand how you feel about the whole thing. Most of you, how you feel about the whole thing. And somehow we got to be mature and let us try to wash our dirty linen inside, and we know everything that is going on, and we will not leave any stone unturned. Yes, a caller on WhatsApp. Can you hear me? Caller on WhatsApp.
Yes, dear ONYIBE, am I coming out clear?
Loud and clear, and the world is listening. Good evening from here.
In one or two words concerning the topic of today's program. Since yesterday and day before yesterday, it has been a horrible day for the people of Biafra, having watched so many videos coming out left and right and the center. We don't even know the one to believe that is coming out from here and the one that we are adopted from somewhere. So, but nevertheless, my personal annoyance into all this game remains one thing, because somebody created this vacuum for Nigerian government and their security agencies to come in and attack our youth, whether they are innocent or they are not. Somebody created this vacuum for these people to be using to be killing our people. And now it has been going on left and right. So many monarchs is being declared missing in Imo State, or not to be precise. They say that they recover, they rescue one of them yesterday or day before yesterday, and we are still watching what they are doing with all these things. But my problem remains, during the time they were making that report, parading those suspects they arrest, it was evening. They're supposed to make that presentation. They're supposed to make that parade on a broad daylight so that people's face there can be noticed, you know, because from watching of those videos, I found that there are so many underage boys there that may not have the heart to took to this kind of crime. So that is the problem we are having today, because the avenue has been created for them. So everybody in Biafra land, especially in the state of Igbo land, is now a suspect, no matter whom you are, unless maybe they feel to leave you or something like that. So that is the problem we are having, especially within the territory of Olu and the Ihiala and all the rest of them. So there's nothing else we can do than to be talking to the people. Everybody hearing our voice today, personally, my calling remains one thing: leave Nnamdi Kanu and his group alone. These people are criminals, they are evil, they are even more wicked than the devil itself. There was a program presented by Tina Sanwo yesterday. He was calling out some of their used and dumped members in ESN, because he cannot tell me that he does not know those people before he called their name. You can't call a name of somebody you don't know. You must come in contact with somebody before you will be able to know his name, know what he does, know the way he operates or she operates, and all the rest of them. And I want to remind the people of Igbo people, more especially, this thing started from IPOB. This is how they started using and dumping people, setting people up for Nigerian government to be arrested and killed. This thing started this way in IPOB. Nnamdi Kanu started it, not even Tina Sanwo or whosoever. It happens to so many of us. Personally, I escaped being killed by Nnamdi Kanu, not even any other person, by that Nnamdi Kanu that you people were hoping that he would bring you freedom. So what am I trying to let you know? The same system is taking place in the same, their so-called ESN. What is ESN? Nnamdi Kanu, personal, criminal, and terror soldiers. Because from every law all over the world, Nnamdi Kanu has no right to set up a security outfit even in ordinary community, in one community, you have no right to do that. Because he's not a traditional ruler, he's not a councillor, he's not PG, he's not governor, he's not anything. There is no position he is holding in Biafra land that warrant that he can come up to set up a security. And he's not even living in Biafra land. That is the problem. And the same thing as Anworu, who has been talking about people using ESN to commit crime. They knew that setting up ESN will bring in some people of different idea, maybe from some people that have their own personal motive of doing things. They know it. They cannot say they do not know it. Because I have never seen a country where somebody will be a general commanding his soldiers from outside country, far away outside that country. A commander, a general must be on ground to command so that you know who is who. You know who you can use in any operation. You know whom you can drop. You see things for yourself. You know when they are doing well. You know when they are not doing well. They were commanding all these boys from outside country. They don't even know. So many of them does not even know the faces of these boys unless maybe they were interacting on the Facebook or other social media. But maybe that person put in a video or he put in his own photograph as a profile picture. So this is the problem we are having. These people personally know what they are doing. That is why they went abroad and hide themselves. But I don't blame them. I blame Nigerian government this thing to probably hand you over to Nigeria for proper prosecution of the crime you commit. So Nigerian government cannot tell me that they have never had enough evidence, as our father Mazo Obidi just said just now. Nigerian government cannot tell us that they have never had enough evidence to file for these people to be arrested and repatriated into Nigeria for them to face the crime they are committing. Because for you to say outside and tell us that, be proud to tell us that you are you are a part of ESN funding and the program, means that you are aware and you are a party to everything that is going on there. You are the one sponsoring them. What it means also terror within our own environment, and they keep quiet about it. That always suspect. I always tell them that Nigerian government know about this game. That pick all these guys one by one, no matter where they are, but they keep quiet. Even the Nnamdi Kanu that they arrest, look at what is going on the arrest. Look at the charges they are given to him. But they have enough evidence of the crime he committed. Even the one that his group is still committing while in detention. They have the photograph and the pictures, videos of everything. And they have some boys they have arrested that have give critical confession of exactly how things has been going on, but they keep quiet about all these things because they are killing the Igbo people. They are not killing any other tribe, it's the Igbo people. So I want our people to make use of their brain this time around, because you cannot be duped for something you don't need. It is something that you need so much that will bring you about Wayo people duping you. We have searched for this freedom for a long time to the extent that every human being that jumped out and talk about Biafra will follow him. We cannot ask questions. This time around, we're supposed to make use of our brain and start asking questions, because freedom of our people, freedom of Biafra cannot come by one man. Freedom of Biafra cannot come by those living in abroad, bringing mouth every day on the social media to talk nonsense. If we are fighting for freedom, there are so many things that supposed not to come at the social media. But this time around, the IPOB and their cabals are always on the social media talking garbage. Chinasa, we were talking about somebody that raised how many million, 20 something million naira, use it to buy this one and buy the other one. Is that not an evidence to tell the world and Nigerian government that these people were deliberately sponsoring terror against our own people, using it to kill people, using it to do business, using it to siphon money from state governments? And another thing I want everybody to understand is that there are assignments given to Nnamdi Kanu by his own, his court group. So many of these governors and these people calling themselves elder are among in those courts. What is that? To supply them the blood of Biafrans. They even went as far as telling him that you can curse us out, you can call us anything you feel, we don't care, just do the business. That is why you see Audios Okalo going today to tell you that Nnamdi Kanu is his brother, after all the curse out Nnamdi Kanu did to Audios Okalo. That is why you see Abaribe telling you that one cannot forget his brother. Is Nnamdi Kanu only brother Abaribe and Audios Okalo have in Abia State that is languishing in jail today? This is a planned deal. They went even as far as promising him that do not be afraid of arrest. We will come for you wherever you are being detained. This is the testimony of everything. Immediately his arrest, they keep coming. Everywhere keep shaking. Sit at home started. Everything, all manner of nonsense started. But he will come on air to tell you that he has no deal with these people. When you have no deal with them, why is it that every time you are being arrested, they will be coming for you? They will be looking for a way to bring you out. But you don't have deal with them. They are criminals, they are evil, they are this, they are the other one. You cannot deceive all the people all the time. Nnamdi Kanu, Chinasa Nworu and Chike Doziem. Iku na-ejugo, unu ndị Igbo, iku na-ejugo, Chiarianu, Kita Okabugbo, because obere oge, the door will close for you. And that of your master, your leader, your criminal devil leader, secret court cannot save you all the time. This time around, there's no way for you to escape to face the judgment of the crime you committed, because you are spilling the blood of innocent people. You are destroying Biafra land. You are making us look like people who perpetrate evil against their own self. That is where I am not getting comfortable. I'm not being comfortable in all these things. The same thing we are doing it to ourselves. Look at that pit they were putting people. Bring out those people they put in that pit, and all the rest of them is Igbo people. The monarchs they are arresting is Igbo people. Then what about the so-called Fulanis that you used to call your enemy? They are walking around doing their business untouched. What of the oil that has been flowing to finance Nigerian budget and everything? Nigeria is still taking away the barrels of oil they needed. What are you now fighting in Igbo land? What are you looking for in Igbo land? And some people will tell you they are living in the bush. Which of the bush in Igbo land? Which of the bush in all the 5 eastern states that someone cannot enter? They just went to so many villages, occupied their backyard, even going to the extent of chasing some people out of their homes. Look at the video that the DSS made yesterday, that village they went to battle with them. That village has been deserted. Everybody has been packed away. He mentioned the name of either Ada or something like that, also local government. The picture they shows there shows that the village has been deserted. Everybody run away. And that man tell you that this is act of insurgency, that this is terror act. This is exactly the same thing that Boko Haram is doing in Borno. Nnamdi Kanu and his cohort is bringing it in Alibo, so that there will be no peace. Everybody will be running head-to-head. Blood will be shedding like water. You know, I'm calling on the right-thinking human being in Igbo land and Biafra land at large, both those living in diaspora and at home. This is time for us to make a U-turn. Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB has deceived us so much that even a blind man, even a deaf, will now hear that scam is what these people are practicing. These are jobless people that is using the blood of our people to make money. So what do we do this period? I will not advise you to go back from being among those that want our freedom to be restored, because the enemy is still working very hard to occupy our territory. And this Nnamdi Kanu is one of the strategies that they are using today that is working perfectly for them. Because when you are fighting with your enemy, going to your enemy to shoot your enemy is very difficult. Any moment you hear that there is war in the camp of your enemy, they are fighting themselves, killing themselves, you will be very happy. You will be counting how many there may remain for you to go and finish and take over. This is exactly what is going on now. Let us make a U-turn. Look for Biafra National Alliance or any pro-Biafran group around the world that have a clear plan and agenda for Biafra restoration. Biafra National Alliance is one of them. Biafra de facto customary government is there to oversee the function of all these pro-Biafran groups. Freedom is not given by one man. Freedom is a collective effort. All over the world, I have never seen a history of a people that get their freedom through one person. Even in the Bible, when Moses was called upon to lead the Israelites out of Egypt, Moses appointed people that assisted him till they got where they got to. God said he will no longer go on. Moses handed the battle to the next person to lead these children of God to the promised land. So what we are experiencing in the hands of Nnamdi Kanu today is that any day God said that Nnamdi Kanu, you are no longer worthy to do what you are maybe claiming to be doing. That is the end. Because what people are trying to tell us now is that without Nnamdi Kanu, Biafra will not be restored. It's a lie. Nnamdi Kanu is not even talking about Biafra restoration. He's using it. He is using it to confuse people to get his way to his what he is looking for, which he has been gotten it to an extent that he can no longer escape. So my brothers and sisters, look for Biafra National Alliance all over the world, even in Biafra land here, to join and make your contribution concerning the Biafra Restoration Project. I will stop here, Diopa. Till next time. God bless you and your family.
Thank you very much. We must continue to expose the lie and ensure that the truth is not hidden. We cannot keep quiet and allow some evil to continue to take place. We cannot allow anybody to sell the next generation. Revelation are coming up already. We understand. I always call it controversial arrest of Nnamdi Kanu. And that is because there is more beneath that the eye can see. But then he will surface. He will expose himself in the end. And I wonder where most people will keep their face. Yes, I'm joined by Dr. Kado at this moment. Can you hear me, sir? Good evening from here. Can you hear me?
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Good evening, sir, from here, and welcome to the
Good evening. Thank you very much. Thank you. And permit me to express my greetings to all our listeners, friends of Biafra, and all persons of goodwill. It's an important night. We've had important and prudent speakers, Obieno and our last speaker. Though I didn't hear his name. I don't know. Was that Ruby Matthew?
It's Mazi Onwukwe Nwanze.
Onwukwe Nwanze. Okay, that's good. They spoke very well. They spoke very well. I think they have said it all prudently, and as I've already made mention, my name is Emeka Okiade. Emeka Okiade is from Etiti Sinokiwe province of Biafra land. I'm calling from London, and my greetings to you and more grace to you able. The point is that the conversation must continue. That's the issue in question. This conversation must continue. Why it must continue is that people has been injured, people has been persecuted, people has been killed. When I'm saying people, innocent people. It can't be silenced. If it's silenced, it means then that we are committing a crime ourselves. So I think one of the healings and justice we have to show towards this tragedy is that of conversation. So the conversation must continue. Must continue. Of course, with a great focus. It must continue, but as we have many times announced, our focus is presently now is government of Biafra, de facto customary. Government of Biafra, de facto customary. In my last speech or radio talk, I tried to explain that and why it is our focus. It is our focus because we have to know that what we heredited a legacy or patrimony, and that patrimony is Biafra. What we are doing is restoration. We are not founding a nation which is far more difficult and if not impossible. And that's why we have to be very, very grateful to our patrons and veterans of the First Republic. They sacrificed immensely. They did much for us. They sacrificed immensely. And innocently, remember that what they did was legitimate defense. They didn't declare any aggression to any person, to our neighboring Nigerians. They only engaged in legitimate defense. And that's why many times we must have to be very careful when we speak about war. War could mean legitimate defense against an aggressor. So for that reason, whether you are a peaceful government or whether you must always learn how to defend yourself. Security is always important. So even in our own condition of de facto customary government is important because you have violent nations, communities, or individuals. They can't come to kill you, you fold your hand. So my own definition of war is that war is a conflict between an aggressor and a legitimate defender. So that's the point. So our First Republic did a lot for us. They did a lot for us. All these things we are messing up today, to the extent of bringing scammers and deceivers into a holy crusade, something very, very generational and important. Our forefathers, the First Republic, they enjoyed the de facto status of this nation and the legal status. They enjoyed both. That is the reason why they were recognized. They printed money. They printed passports. They had government. They had military. I mean, everything that is known for with a nation, they had all under a very desperate situation. So our forefathers enjoyed the legal and the de facto status of this Biafra, of our Biafra, Republic of Biafra. As I said before, the context in which they find themselves was that of post-colonial dictatorial contest that was very rampant in various African countries. The person at the helms of affairs with Nigeria as of that time was Gowon, Yakubu Gowon, backed by British colonialists and others like USSR. So why am I saying this? This was the contest. And our First Republic patrons, they were equal to the task in every sense. So more than 50 years after, we have fooled ourselves for a long time because we thought that we were dealing with typical intelligent Biafrans. But it happened that many of them they are resulting to be the fake and deceitful type. Many of them. So what am I trying to say? We would have been very, very smart. We would have been. Though not that no one reminded, and somehow it has been recalled. We would have been very, very mindful to know that the context has changed. That's how life is. We have to do things with time. The context of the whole thing has changed. Because why I'm stressing and focusing on this issue of context is because if we don't understand it, a victim, without knowing, will become an aggressor. Because this is the situation that is turning up now, with all this mess and all these things we have been saying in this program. If we don't understand that, a victim will become an aggressor. Because what is turning up now is like Biafrans that are known all over the world to be peaceful. That's flag bearers of human rights with regards to self-determination. It appears that we are now militant. We are violent now. Maybe stealing guns or what, or just trying to mess up what we hereditated from our forefathers. So this is the point why I'm focusing on that context. The context has changed. Because the situation now, what is coming up now is that Nigeria, whom we have scores to settle with, tend to pretend now that they are democratic. We are the ones that are not democratic. But at a particular time of this struggle, I know, I might say when I was also a key player in this struggle, as the Secretary General of, we were very sensitive to this point I am saying, because we were known to be defenders of human rights. But in this case now, we are turning the whole thing like if we are in mid-1960s or 1967. No, that's a very, very fatal mistake we are making now. And I think it's the duty of the government of Biafra to do all that is in her power to correct this this dangerous position or direction we are going. So the point is that we should understand that the first Republican era, the context was dictatorial, military dictatorship. Presently, and interestingly, Nigeria has claimed that it's now democratic. We have to apply democratic instruments. It is visible. Why is it visible? Because we are not founding a nation, we are only restoring a nation. I think who is practicing what I am about trying to say now is that's who is putting it into practice. If I may make a very practical example, is Chief Dr. Ralph Wazirike, who to his own right, and which I'm proud to say, is the father of this new de facto Biafran government, or new Biafran struggle. He's the one that is putting what I'm trying to say into right. You can see it from the memorial lecture of our first head of state that was held, I think, this month at Owerri. You can see the joy of our citizens when I am saying that we have to enjoy our de facto status. That's what I actually mean. Woe to whoever that has brought violence, because the right thing the present generation was to do would have been to enjoy the legacy, patrimony that our forefathers gave to us, though it was somehow damaged. But it's still, it's still the traces of it and pieces of it can still be of great value. And that's why I'm calling the attention, I'm making a remark to who understand this thing I'm saying is Ralph Wazirike. Notwithstanding all the dangers, notwithstanding all the critics, notwithstanding all the false accusations, he knows. You see, who witnessed the last event will understand what I mean. We have to, the Biafran citizens should enjoy their de facto status and be bold and prudent to make meaning out of their political citizenship of Nigeria. Whoever comes about to talk anything contrary to that is an imbecile. He doesn't understand what politics or what life is all about, or what the First Republic suffered for. We should enjoy because enjoying that, for instance, A practical example is that when we are talking about participation and representation, if we organize ourselves very well, understand that what we are doing is restoration of a nation and not founding a nation, and that we have a citizenship that is of fact, in Latin, de facto, of fact, in the sense that internationally and otherwise, you can formally present yourself as a citizen, a de facto citizen of Biafra within international context. That one is unquestionable. With such premises or preamble, we can organize ourselves, consolidate ourselves. Next thing we have to do, we all know how to participate and represent ourselves, because the easiest way and democratic way to create effective government and then to have a governance over our territory is that means. And if we swiftly is able to do that, if we are able to do this thing we're saying, what are you saying? Then you automatically the de jure status or legal citizenship we're talking about is automatic. Even Nigeria will even be handicapped in the sense that they will be put at a corner. Think of now when Biafrans are able to control the southeastern states and the some of the south states. What are you talking about again? The deal is done, and that's the language, is the contemporary language, is the contemporary action. We can't escape it. So whoever is playing pranks and deceit, maybe either to wear either to wear camouflage or put himself in aesthetics he cannot be able to do in his life. That's rubbish. We have to realize this. It's so painful because this is something so practicable, so realizable, but we have played with our life, played with destroyed our image, make shame of ourselves. But this is something so, we are restoring a nation, we are not founding a nation. We have to understand that. So this is the task. It's a major task that the government of Biafra must have to face. It's a major task. And this doesn't, what I am saying, doesn't go our continual conversation of current affairs complements what I am talking about, because this conversation on the damages that have been done to our society must continue. It's a healing that is very important to various innocent individuals that have been wounded, injured, or even killed unjustifiably. So it's of both personal best interest and collective best interest. It must continue. So the task ahead is so immense but very practicable. Dear friends, we must have to engage rapidly with immediate effect. What I mean with the direction now is civic political education, participation and representation. Whoever is telling you that you don't have political citizenship of Nigeria is a liar. He doesn't understand anything. You have de facto citizenship of Biafra and political citizenship of Nigeria. What to you if you don't make meaning out of it? Make meaning out of your political citizenship of Nigeria. You have every right for that. If you're hearing about Nigeria today, without you, there wouldn't have been anything like that. Starting from the time of our fathers and most of you, your grandparents, for the younger generation. So we have deviated. I mean, we have been misled by ignorant people. Now we have to, typical Biafran intelligence must have to shine now. We must have to wake up. So that's the message of government of Biafra, and that's the message I have tonight. We can still emerge. We can still emerge. We can still restore our Lego sovereignty. While doing that, we have to thank God that we have a noble man who is heading the government of Biafra. De facto government is Mujahideen Asari Dokubo. The father of government of Biafra, de facto, is Ralph Wazirike. They have been able to undergo all these contemplations I'm talking about now. So every one of us need this contemplation. Mostly the intellectual community. The politicians who are only there for their malicious selfish interest. And the only thing that can correct such maliciousness is the effective participation and representation of the Biafran citizens. What I mean by civic political education is that whoever is telling you don't have PVC, don't participate in that person is an imbecile. He hasn't got, that's his only playing pranks. He's a scammer. So we have to please, my fellow citizens, it's important. We can achieve our goal. Nothing has gone wrong. So something has gone wrong, but it has not gone beyond not achieving our goal. In a very clear and defined manner. In a very clear and time-framed manner. But what is required is we have to open our eyes. We have to shine our eyes. It's time to shine our eyes. What I'm saying, what I mean, I'm not saying what I don't know. I'm not saying what I don't know. I have served as first honorable member of the Rome House of Assembly, the first African to do that. So I am talking from experience. So all these things is possible, but the point is that we have been misled. We have to wake up, shine our eyes. We shall survive and we shall achieve our goal. But take it from me, the right way to go now is civic political education, which means participation and representation. And the preamble is that whoever is telling you, whether you are calling Nigeria a zoo or what, rhetorically, it can go. That's one can, out of provocation, despite, but the fact, unchallengeable fact is that you are a citizen of Biafra of de facto status by fact, and you're a citizen of Nigeria politically, or if you like, or legally also, but I prefer using politically, because both politically and de facto they are legal. But the issue why maybe most times we are talking about legal is that it's the question where you can then be associated with other committee of nations. So we have to start changing our mind frame and stop all those kidding and this it. We have all on down. We have succeeded. We have succeeded grooming charlatans amongst us, which is not typical of us. ONYIBE, I would like to stop here because I am being touched a bit, because I never imagined that our generation will drift to this deviancy, to be sincere. At the beginning, I think more than 20 years ago, because you can see that we have not been able to, we have proved to be incapable, considering that the timing has become unreasonable. If our forefathers, within 3 years, we are able to achieve de facto and legal status of the Republic of Biafra, we've engaged more than 20 years and we have succeeded killing each other and then trying to damage the wonderful treasure that our forefathers left for us. Whoever has done this, it will not be good for that person. So thank you for having me. That's what I have to say this night. Thank you, ONYIBE. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. And of course, the truth cannot be overemphasized. It's quite unfortunate. We have gradually drifted away from our destination. But then we are grateful to the Creator, because some of us, our mind are still intact. Just like Dr. Okado has said, of course we have a lot of damage protocols. We have a lot of programs that have been set in disarray, misplaced priority among others. But all hope is not lost. All hope is not lost. Everybody must apply their wisdom to reasoning and make a U-turn. It's time we need to go home. It is time we need to correct all these abnormalities by repositioning the Biafran nation, by individually taking our stance to make the world understand who we are, and of course ultimately separating the wheat from the chaff, because Biafrans are not terrorists. but some charlatans are terrorists impersonating Biafras. And of course, on this note, we will draw the curtain for this segment and we'll continue tomorrow. Those of you who were able to call in, I sincerely appreciate your contribution. An apology to those I cannot take their call because our time is fast spent already. Good night from here, and God be with you.
Bible clearly shows where the true Israelites are and where the Messiah is going to gather his people. Judah, he's going to gather from the four corners of the earth. But the other tribes, he will gather from beyond the rivers of Cush in Africa.
Candle in the night that came and blew us away.
And like a thief in the night that came and stole it away.
We've been in the bondage for so long. We need a light.
All the Biafrans should stand up, rise up for your freedom.
It's a freedom song.
Freedom song.
Religion, believe our nature, but you know we are no one. So no more free things, see we gotta go. Our tradition is live and let's live, but they are killing us now. We need peace. Yeah, this land is split. We need a red and black to it to make it work out. We need to be like Punch. We fighting for our freedom, so you gotta stand up, searching for the God in our freedom. We are freedom fighters, lighter, lighter. We fight to make everybody stand up, fight for your freedom. So that the people take the world, take the nation, let them know we are trying. Many people are dying, our children missing. How long are we gonna live?
Fighting for the future of the children, the hope of the rising sun.
We will keep on believing and fighting to the end of time. We can't really walk. Hey. Babylon can walk us off with them waiting. Brutality them can never see. The rising of the sun. The futures of tomorrow. Now give them the standing.
freedom.
We are living in the prison of our own creation, but we love. We will murder the nation.
Me wonder why discrimination every way. The one of the poor and the one of the richer.
You are fighting with God, I am fighting with God. I'm showing you love, you are showing me God.
After much strength, the sun will shine again.
As we can see, monkey and donkey, they are not the same. See the Rasta man,